lot of you, it is afternoon. So, new month, new switch up. I usually do my lives from 8 to 9. I was thinking about doing them later because I can catch some of you guys on your lunch break. So, between 9 and 10 Pacific, you can see me get ready. It is over on YouTube, so you can catch the replay. But we are going to do a fun makeup look because someone sent me some really cool makeup to use. So I'm really excited. There's like all these glitters and things. Jenny, you are amazing. I know you're not on just yet, but when you catch the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are going to, of course, put on these big old things on top of the eyelashes that I have. I'm a gift right now if you're able to do an just like, no. I do accept gifts though, and it's going to Texas to the event that I'm going to. So getting some swag, stuff like that, but this is not a dance monkey dance kind of situation. All I'm gonna say about that. But I'm excited. I call her my wife, one of my best friends. She texted me and asked, do you want to go to the beach? And the answer to that question should always be shell to the yes. So make sure you're following because I will be sending you all some vitamin C. We'll be just like, because the ocean is always needed. Ooh, and I like that it comes with this stuff. Yes. Glitter Fix Primer. I'm going to use the shit out of that. Thank you. Now I will say something about glitter. As a mermaid, I will not go into the ocean if I have this kind of glitter, okay? Do not want this in the ocean. I don't want this for fish. Since it is, I mean, it's March, but like, I might put my feet in it, but I am not going to dunk my whole head in there. Especially because I just showered, like, I just washed this hair and straightened it yesterday. So we are not going to go get it ocean crazy. So that's one thing. I do have biodegradable glitter, but I just try and only wear glitter when I am in the pool. But I want to do a cool look. Like she gave me these blues too. So we have some fun things to do. I'm excited. So today is March 1st, which is Brain Injury Awareness. So as someone who had brain surgery 5 years ago and was misdiagnosed because of how young I was, so I had a ruptured brain aneurysm, which resulted in a hemorrhagic stroke. And they just kept seeing a 28-year-old who was complaining of a migraine. So not only did they not scan me, they shot me up with nerve blockers and sent me home. So when I called my neurologist and told him I went to the ER, here's what's going on, because everyone's like, how did so many people keep misdiagnosing you? I understand that he heard, okay, the ER didn't even scan you. And I mean, I literally talked myself out of it so much. I was like, I feel like I'm dying. And I was like, shut up. They didn't even scan you. Like, they didn't even scan you. You're fine. You're just being a baby. And I really just thought, these are my migraines now. Like, I'm getting older. My migraines are just going to be worse. I had never thrown up from a migraine before, but my mom and my brother throw up from migraine. So it wasn't like out of the realm. However, I get asked this a lot because I still do suffer from migraines. What is the difference between a migraine and when it ruptured, when your aneurysm ruptured? It was immediate. Like, it felt like someone hit me with a baseball bat. If I wasn't in the shower, I would have thought someone threw something at my head. I had to catch myself. So like, it immediately did affect my balance. Couldn't really walk. My neck was really stiff. I threw up immediately, and I'm always sensitive to light, but when it ruptured, it was a completely different ballgame. It was like, so sensitive, and I had the pain right above my eye. In fact, that's where they shot the nerve blockers. So they shot me up like 2 times here, and then they shot me up in the back of the head, which I clearly wasn't thinking right, because I should have said before you, okay, so you are validating my pain. You know that I'm not making this up. So you're going to numb me, but you're not even going to scan me. Like, my dad thought I had meningitis because my neck was that stiff. Like, I couldn't move. Like, I would have to move my whole body. And I was doing nothing but sleeping. Like, I could not keep myself awake. Like, I would be like talking to you, and I'd be like, I just feel so, and just go in and out. And that's why they were like, something is not right. Like, they gave me a day. My mom was like, we need to take you to the ER. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. And she's like, okay. So that's how I got misdiagnosed for an entire week. It ruptured on Cinco de Mayo. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you were out drinking and you hit your head, or what happened? No, I was actually in the shower before. I had gotten home from, I was a special education teacher. I had gotten home from a work day. I did have a headache that day, not abnormal for me. Screaming children at work, of course, it wasn't that great, but it was the first time I was going to go on a date with a former ex. And we had started kind of redating because I believe in second chances. I don't know. I guess I'm dumb, but I did do the one TikTok where it's like almost every ex I've had has come back. So clearly I was not the problem. I was not the problem. But I always think, I'm like, you know what? We dated in college. It was just not the right time. In fact, he broke up with me and went back to his other girlfriend and like devastated me. And so we were rekindling. Shallow, Stephen. And thank you for the follow, James and Brent. So we were going to go out for Mexican food, and I was like, I'm in a shower. And I told my brother, you know, will you drive me? And he was like, yeah. And I get in the shower. I'm going to get more into that part of the story because I don't share about all that because it's a little uncomfortable. So since it's the first, I don't know. Look at me. I'm like, sometimes it's easier if you are on a journey and you have a part of your story that you are nervous to talk about. It is really hard to do it live. So a lot of times honestly, I use TikTok. I gave her a second chance to hear, and she cheated with me. What? Boop. And you're gone. So I do believe in second chances because my now husband, we also dated. He likes to joke that it just took me having a brain surgery to then want to go back to him. And because me and my now husband, we actually dated. He had a ring and everything. He proposed to me, and I was like, no, dude, I don't want to marry you. And not only did I break up with him, I moved back to Ohio where my parents live. So I not only broke up, but I moved across the country and was like, I'm done. I wasn't happy with how our relationship was going. And I don't regret that. Some people are like, well, you're together now. I'm like, we needed that time apart to both grow and to change as people. What would I do? If you were the roach I could smoke, I would smoke you. So I'm gonna do this blue up really high because I have these eyelashes I sleep in, but I'm gonna try and put on, because these were a gift, I'm gonna try to put these on. And Facebook, if you're not liking the quality, because I am on my computer and it's pretty old. Shallow 420 Savage. I am on YouTube and TikTok, so you can come over there. I am doing a share drawing every Saturday, so I can't keep track of shares on, what's it called? On TikTok, but I can on Facebook. So if you go over to Facebook, I know if we're live now and you're like, I don't want to go watch on Facebook, when we're done being live, go share it, or you can share it into groups. You can share it as many times as you want. Each of them are obviously an entry. I wouldn't cheat on you because you're so pretty and cute. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I have been cheated on though a lot. It happens when you choose the wrong guys. And I never got that. I was like, listen, if you see some other chick and you're like, that's who I'd rather be with, break up with me. I'd much rather break up with me than go cheat on me for health reasons, for all those things. So I just think it's a shitty thing to do to someone. And I have sadly had it happen quite a lot. That's why I don't like Valentine's Day, because it usually happened on Valentine's Day. I'm like, really? Well, do you want to hear the funniest part? I was in the hospital. So, Steven, that's where I'm going to go to. So, I have the stroke, okay? And like literally, like I'm talking to him, I'm saying like I had a brain and then emergency room, getting rushed to have surgery. So, like it happened on Cinco de Mayo. I canceled the plans. You know, I was like, I'm feeling really bad. I kept texting him every day. It wasn't until the 12th that I woke up and my eye was crossing in. And when your eye crosses in, you're like, yeah, no, that's something someone needs to check. Like, I still did not think a brain aneurysm. I did not think a brain bleed or any of those things. I just thought, what the fuck? Someone needs to look at this shit. That ain't right. So, I went to the emergency room. I had an eye patch over my eye because it hurt to look out of it. It wasn't an eye patch, actually. It was a sleep mask. Sorry. I'll add. It was a sleep mask, which I continued to use as a eye patch because eye patches fucking hurt, okay? If you ever have to wear an eye patch, use a sleep mask instead. Because eye patches, like, they make a mark around your eye. So anyways, I go in there and I had to get wheeled in because I couldn't really walk. I was like super unbalanced and like just not feeling good. So I like, my dad went to pull up, and like, if you've ever gone to the ER, there's like someone outside, like a security guy or something. I don't know with COVID if it's still the same. But anyway, so he wheeled me up to the front desk, and she's like, why are you here? And I was like, I've had a migraine nonstop. And I was like, and I woke up this morning and this. And her eyes got big. I have never seen, luckily there was like a receptionist and there was, I guess, a nurse in there. The nurse stood right up and she was like, come with me right now. And like, I've never not waited in the emergency room. Like, they took me right back. I got scanned right away. And they were like, you have a subarachnoid hemorrhage. And I'm like, oh shit. So like, my worst fear is exactly what's happening. Like, I'm bleeding into my brain. Cool. And I said it just like that to my dad. And so they go, the next scan we would need to do, there isn't anyone at this hospital who can do that. So we need to transport you to another hospital. And I, as a special education teacher, I mean, I had good insurance, but y'all know, I was like, I flat out told him, like, I can't afford like ambulance ride. So I was like, can my dad just drive me? And she's like, I don't think you're understanding like the gravity of the situation. And I was like, she's like, you need to be monitored. You are going to be hooked up to things. Like, no. And I'm still like trying to negotiate with her. Like, come on, like he can just drive real fast and get me there. Little do I know, they're not even ambulance riding me. I got life flighted. So I got life flighted to the Cleveland Clinic. When I arrived, there was the most doctors and nurses that I have ever seen in my whole life. Like, I'm just like, holy shit. And they're asking me all these questions, you know, like how long has this been? What's all going on? Thank you. And I am telling them all the things, and they're just like, wow. And I remember, because I have this pierced. This blue is coming on everything. And I couldn't get it out. And I was like, are you gonna have to cut it out? Because like, you know, they can't do scans. And the chick was like, oh my God, because she's like, you're so funny. So she helped me get it out. Yeah, it was crazy because the ambulance people, I mean, the life flight people told me, they were like, usually people are not lucid for this. So they were like, please, because they were worried with me going up in the air that the pressure was gonna like make the bleed worse or other things. So like, I remember talking to them in the helicopter, and I was like, they were like, just keep talking to me. And I was like, okay. And they were like, well, how's the view? And I was like, well, I can't really see shit because I can't see out of this eye. And they had me like laying down. And they're like, it's just weird because people aren't usually, you know, like awake for this. So I am like, okay. And I remember, but what's really weird is, you guys want to hear the weirdest thing? When I arrived there, I remember talking to my one doctor, Mazurk, but I kept telling them, I'm like, I want to just thank the one nurse. I go, he was like an Italian looking dude, really buff. Like, I don't know if he was a nurse or what. And I'm like, but he like calmed me down. And the weirdest thing is, still to this day, like, I have seen everyone who is in there, that person does not exist. Like, doesn't. So I don't know if like, I don't know what you believe in, if that was like, I don't know if that was my guardian angel, like, you're gonna be okay, you're where you need to be right now. So I'm not really liking how this glitter is, like, when my eyelid moves, see how it's not staying? I think I might have to pack it with powder. So I remember all of that. And then the weirdest part was, I remember someone saying my name. Yeah, I think that's what I think. Oh, you're the best. I remember someone saying like Tawny, and me like trying to answer but like falling asleep, and like I was getting mad at myself. Like, I was like, God, like, fucking stay up and answer these people. Come to find out, they had told me when they do the angiogram, they like you to be lucid but not able to answer. Like, basically they want you somewhat awake so that they know if basically they poke something in your brain and paralyze you or make you unable to speak. So they don't like you to be completely knocked out. But he said they kept giving more and more, and I kept not going to sleep. So finally they had to knock me completely out. And when I woke up, I had my brain surgery, luckily. Like, I'll get into why I have the side shave, but they did it through my groin. They can do brain surgery through your groin now. It's a straight shot. The artery, I can't remember right now. Aorta artery? No, that's your heart. I don't know right now, whatever. And so they did not have to do a craniotomy. They did not have to cut into my head. And I just remember the first thing I did was I woke up and I was like, and like, you want to take, I don't like things over my face. So I was like trying to rip that off, and they were like, okay, calm down, calm down. And I was like, trying to sit up, and they're like, do you know where you are? I was like, at the hospital. And I don't really remember much after that. My dad said, he goes, you talked to your mom and you seemed like really good. Like, I was like, obviously the drugs were still fucking kicking. And so I talked to my mom, and I guess I sounded really good because my mom was in Colorado visiting her mom because it was over Mother's Day. So I was talking to her, and she said I sounded really good, because then I remember her calling back and me just like, oh, like I was just like basically moaning in pain. I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, just going off. And I remember like my sister coming to visit because my dad still had to go to work. So like, I remember hearing like her, because I was in the ICU and I could like hear, she's like, I'm here to see my sister. And I was like, Jenna. I did want the catheter out right away. I was like, I can feel it. I was like, I don't like this. And they were like, you can't. And I was like, just take it out and I'll go to the bathroom myself. They're like, you just had brain surgery. You are not getting up out of this bed for 24 hours. Like, not happening. And I remember them thinking that was funny because they're like, we have never had someone so adamant about. I was like, I don't know what you all are talking about. Because they're like, well, guys have to have the catheter. I was like, I can feel, like, I don't know, maybe we just tweet. But I was like, I can feel it and this hurts. I don't like it. Get it out. And I remember them asking me, so they ask you every day, twice a day. They ask you, do you know what your name is? Do you know where you are? Do you know the date? Do you know who the president is? And I couldn't remember the date, but like I knew my name. And it really just hit me the first day when she asked me again later in the day. And I said, why are you asking me again? I've already answered these questions. Like, I already went through the surgery. And she's like, well, things can change. And I'm like, what do you mean? Good afternoon, Mama Licious, and hey, Cowboy. Thank you, Jimmy Kirkman 85. So you shared it. I think I can screenshot and add all these. Make sure, will you guys message me if you share it? Because I think that's how I can keep track on TikTok. I'm trying to figure out. This is a new thing, so I can for sure see it on Facebook. I'm not sure if you can see shares on YouTube. I don't know if you can, but I luckily just saw the notification. And then like Mom Malicious. So, boom, I'm trying to screenshot. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, as the blood breaks up in your brain, things are going to change. And I was like, so you mean like I can walk and talk and I know who I am right now, but like later today, I might not? And she just looked at me, and that was the most horrific thing, because it really was true. Like, as the blood was breaking up in my brain, like one morning I woke up and I could hear the nurses who were across the room, but it felt like they were right in my ear. And I was like, because they told me if you have any changes, hit the button and notify us. So like I hit the button and I told the nurse, and like her eyes just got big. And I was like, is that like permanent? Like what does that mean? And she's like, we're just gonna keep an eye on it. And I was like, oh my God, like don't. If you are a medical professional, don't scare someone like that and just be like, I don't know. Like, tell me if something changes, but there's nothing I can do about it. And also it was really scary because the one doctor must have been young. I guess most patients, their eyes cross out, mine crossed in. Shelly! No, the depression has hit. Okay, we're gonna work through that in a second, but I found out when I was in the hospital she was cheating on me. Oh. Man, some people are just in a mood today. But this is something I wish someone would have told me back then. If you deal with anxiety or depression, I know we all hear breathing is important, but I learned that if you do two breaths in and then one long breath out. So right now, if you are dealing with that, it's going to change your systematic nervous system. Oh, Shelly, that's gotta hurt. So right now we're gonna do 2 in our nose. Like already I can feel way more chill, calm, all that stuff. So I don't know where I was at in the story. Basically, so I did bleed in my brain for a whole week before they found me. When the doctors went in and did the angiogram, he said, we figured because you were still like seemingly decent that the rupture had stopped bleeding. And when they went in there, I was still bleeding. So literally for an entire week, I was bleeding into my brain. Doesn't it? You're very, very welcome. I hope you can put that in your tool belt, and please share that with more people, because I just recently learned that, and every time I do it, I'm like, holy crap, that totally just changed my whole vibe and my whole mood. So my eye was crossed in instead of out. And the first doctor who saw me, he was like, oh my God. He's like, we need to get a specialist in for that. And it was on a Friday that I had my surgery. So I guess doctors leave at 2 in the afternoon. I wish I could be a fucking doctor. And so I had to sit a whole weekend thinking something's terribly wrong with my eye, but nobody's checking on it. Till finally on Monday, when the normal, like more, I guess, official doctors came in, they were like, hey, they were like, oh yeah, that's just most people's cross out instead of in. So that's just a little different. Working in special education, I thought that I had to kind of patch my my strong eye, because kids who have eyes that are crossed in or whatever, we had a kiddo, like you patch the strong eye to make the weak eye work harder so it fixes itself. So I'm over here trying to unpatch and have my wonky eye out, which is giving me terrible headaches, making me nauseous, because like it wasn't just that was crossed in, it was like I would see 2 of people. So like here would be your face and then there would be your face. It was really weird until someone finally was like, no, just keep patching that. If you don't like it, he's like, you're not gonna lose like that eye or anything. He's like, you just do that with kids because their eyes are still so young and like being trained, I guess. By Steven. Sorry, sidetrack. Hello. But you can tell. So basically most of my deficits are mental, like you can't see. So my multitasking gotten better, and I would say that's a lot of practice. So like this, going live on multiple platforms and reading comments. This is from Jenny. Yeah, it helps. Like if you go back to my lives in the very beginning, it was a hot mess express. I'm still a hot mess express, but I like sharing that because I know in the brain injury community, they tell you like, oh, at 6 months, basically you'll be back to your normal. And if you're not, like that's just as good as you're gonna get. And I really wish they would stop saying that because year 1, year 2 were hard. Even I mean, it's still hard, but I was really hard on myself because getting that 6 month, deadline, you're like, oh my God, if I don't recover in these 6 months, then like I'm gonna be stuck like this forever. But that is a load of bull honky. I have friends who are 10 years out and they're still seeing differences. I'm gonna try doing that kind of like mask thing that people do. I'm trying it with gold. I don't know how it will. Thank you. 6 months, I'm still going on 2 years and improving. Yeah, I am 5 years out and I still am seeing improvement in a lot of things. So, emotion regulation is a very common thing that is not talked about enough. So, I've been wanting to share that. I know a lot of people talk about the physical and, the cognitive. You talk about your memory. Like, they were so worried about my memory, and like dates, names, times have still been hard for me. Like, they would always ask me to put the months in order and I would always like miss a couple. Did I put it up there? I don't know. We're going to just try. So that was interesting. And like my processing was a lot slower. So like you would ask me if I was hungry and it would take me a couple minutes. Cause like one time my mom was like, she just repeated herself. And I was like, I don't think you realize, I go, my brain has to hear what you said. And then I have to process that. And then I have to think, am I hungry? And then I have to think of how I can respond to you. Like, we take so much for granted. You don't realize how much your brain does. Like, you don't realize walking. Like, I was only allowed to use the stairs. I was only allowed to go up and down once. Because using stairs, like, you're using, depth, like all these different brain skills. So thank you for always liking my makeup, Mamalicious. Bye, Shelly. I hope you have a better day. Use that. Get some sunshine. Drink extra water. So needless to say, it has been a journey, but I'm going to take you guys on it while I do my makeup. You guys can ask any questions about it. I am an open book. I know some people, they're like, I hope I'm not upsetting you. I'm like, no. I want to educate. I know, and I've said it many a times, I'm like, I know that God didn't let me be this okay for me to be quiet about it. Like, I have to speak up for the people because while I was in the ICU, I could hear when they would do the rounds of asking us the questions, and I could hear how the other people were doing. And, the fact that they couldn't say their name or didn't know where they were. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so freaking lucky. So, like, when I first came out of it, I just had extreme gratitude that I could get up and go to the bathroom. Like they called me the young girl, and they said, they were like, you move so fast. But I was super sound sensitive and super light sensitive. So like if you see most of my pictures, I have sunglasses on and that still hurt. So I would wear sunglasses, an eye patch, and I had earplugs in and headphones on, not playing music, just to muffle the sound. My dad's voice is super bassy. He could not even talk to me. Like it would hurt me. Oh my God, thank you. What book are you reading? So reading is still difficult. Basically, I just say I went from an A student to a C student. I know that I quote, shouldn't even complain. Like my one physical therapist was like, you're good enough. Like, you're so good. I was like, I know that you have other patients you're like they're relearning how to walk, talk, and smile. So me walking and talking, you're like, that's good enough. But that's one thing I wish I would have advocated for myself more and been like, I don't want to be good enough. Like, I want to be as close to my old self. But that's one thing with a brain injury. I will tell you, you have to let go. Like, they told me, they're like, the old you is dead. Like, you're going to mourn the death of you while you're rebuilding a new you. Shalom. Okay, maybe it looks too much like a mask. Thank you. We're trying something new. Because I didn't want to do blue all the way over it. But I don't know if I mean, like, maybe if I make it go out to my hair, then it won't look so weird. But like, I have panic attacks now. I deal with depression, and I didn't deal with any of those things prior to the brain bleed. I actually didn't. They kept asking me if I was depressed, and I wasn't at first. It took like, I like to joke that my brain was just so messed up it didn't have time, because I had a lot of built up spinal cord fluid also. So every month I was getting scanned to see if I needed a shunt or a stent. Sorry, I mixed the two, because I was misdiagnosed for a whole week, they were not able to. So when they coil, do I have a piece of paper I could draw it really quick? Here's a mermaid one. So we're gonna give a little lesson real quick. So, I don't know his name. Those are names. Do we have a blank paper? Okay, here we go. Here is your vein or your artery, and what happens is an aneurysm is like a berry. It's like a bulbous little sac that grows. It's a malformation. So what they do is they put coils in here and they fill it up. He said it's basically like I shoved a Brillo pad in there. He called himself a glorified plumber. I was like, you are not a glorified plumber. Now, everything in here, blood is always rushing, so it's always fluid. And what they usually do is they put a stent, which is like a little fence, so that these little guys don't wiggle around, okay? Now, because I was misdiagnosed and I went a whole week bleeding, they were not able to put this stent in. So I had nothing making sure this was staying in place. So they were scanning me every month to see if these were wiggling around. I was told if all of a sudden my eye went wonky or I started going numb in a limb, all of these different things, that I needed to go immediately to the emergency room. So like, that's fun, you know, and then it went from every month, and then on my 6-month mark, luckily they said the neck of the aneurysm started to kind of, basically my brain started trying to heal itself, which was really cool. So I do have half-done brain surgery, but luckily I have to say, I changed a lot of things. I started meditating more. I also believe in prayer. Skinny Man 1979, thank you for the follow. And I just think my body was like, no. So I still have not had, crap. I'm live. Oh my god. Hey. Hello? Hi, I'm live right now. Can I call you back in like just 2 minutes? I just didn't want you to think I was ignoring. Okay, I'll call you right back. All right, love you. Bye. Okay, so, wow. Anyways, luckily my memory got better. I used to aphasia where you mix up words and stuff. Like I couldn't think of things, you know, sometimes. And that's why I just tell people, like, you just feel dumb. I don't know any other way, but I'm trying to work on that and not call myself dumb or stupid. I'm like, that's silly. So I've tried replacing the word of you're stupid with you're silly. That's so silly. That's so silly that I did that. I'm just not liking this. I feel like it just totally looks like I have a gold mask on. I know that was the look that I was trying to go for, but like, I don't know. I feel like maybe we need to add blue in it and then I'll like it. Maybe it's because it's just gold. Okay. And then we're going to call her right back. And I think that, I was like, is that good for story time this time? Just kidding, it's my life. So all month I'm going to be sharing different things. I am a part of the brain injury community, which is super important. I wish I would have found them sooner on. I kind of felt like I didn't have a place there because I was like, I'm doing too well. And so I did not reach out for support. It took me about like a year. I joined Facebook groups. There we go. That's what it needed. But I was not like active, like I didn't post or anything. And then luckily, I believe it was Joso Rocks with the Neuro Nerds that I found first. And I started sharing and I started realizing like, oh my God, because I was like, I feel like I Hulk out. Like once I get really upset, like I have no control over my emotions. Like, and it's frustrating and it's embarrassing. Like they told me like either you could come out looking like a robot or you can come out being over emotional. And I was like, it's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing that I cry all the time. It's embarrassing that I get so mad. Like I don't like it. And he was like, well, the alternative is you have no feelings. And I was like, I guess you're right. So that perspective. So I really like sharing that because there's so many of us who just focus on like, you know, my memory shit, all these other things. Annie. Oh, good. We're going to just block. It's been a fun block party. If you go live a lot and people come on and be mean, always when I think of them, like, it's like a video game. Pew, pew. I'm just getting rid of bad guys. Because listen, we all got this internet and you can find people that you like and you can learn stuff and you can have fun. Or you could be a little shit. Oh, Lord. Well, that's where some glitter's going. Annie, you're going to be proud of me. I think I'm going to the beach. That's why I'm putting all this on because I think I might get cool videos and content. Does that look? It does look like Mardi Gras, but it is March. It kind of goes with it. It's a Mardi Gras mermaid, right? Should I put some? No, if I angle it all, then it's gonna look like that. These are all thanks to Jenny sent me. So this cool glitter, it's a glitter fix primer. It worked really good. It looks like, I don't know, I used to wear this as like lip gloss thingies. We got glitter, and I'm only wearing glitter because I'm not going in the ocean. Don't wear this glitter when you go in the ocean. Oh, should I use Veronica's got me this? I feel like, is that too much? We got these things, and we have like rhinestone ones. Maybe that should be for a different look. We're gonna try putting eyelashes over the eyelashes that I have. I heard you could do that. Nora, how are you doing? Do it. So I know she just called. I'm gonna have to call her right back. Mama, my friend. Okay, let's see. I've never tried to put eyelashes over eyelashes. Ow. Good God, this was a long get ready with me. My bad, guys. But that also means you should definitely hit follow because I'm gonna be sharing. Yes, Veronica, I just was showing these things. I was like, I feel like I need to put all of this on, but I was like, calm down, honey. Look at these big eyelashes. Yes. Okay, so what, we're just gonna line our eye and then stick them on. Ooh, why is this like, it's like hard. All right, whatever. Because these eyelashes go underneath my eyelid. Whereas this one is going up top. So we're going to see how this looks. And the last pictures I had for me from the ocean. Just gonna say that. You never know what this mermaid's up to. Thank you for swimming by. I appreciate it. And please send me any questions you have about brain injury, because even if obviously it doesn't happen to you, I hope it doesn't, but you might come across. And I have had many people say that they finally, like one girl, and I'm so happy because I always talk about it. She finally kept advocating for herself with her neurologist. She got an MRA. You need an MRA. I had an MRI since I was 15 because I have a lot of migraines, but the MRA, oh, this is hard to put these on over eyelashes. But an MRA would have found it. My neurosurgeon ordered that in February, but my insurance denied me. Oh God. I don't know if I can do that. I don't like that. Look at me. I don't like that. We're gonna just not do that right now. That's too much. I will attempt eyelashes over eyelashes tomorrow, okay? Because I was like, I feel like this is good enough. But she said because I kept talking about it, she went and got scanned, and she actually found that there was a tumor behind her eye, and they wouldn't have found that. She would have ended up going blind. So if you have concerns, I am in no way a doctor. I'm a fun mermaid, but please, and you can use my story. And my neurologist says he argues with the insurance all the time. He says she was 28 years old, but I had been suffering from migraine since I was 15. Do all migraine sufferers always have aneurysms? No. Does everyone who had an aneurysm always have suffered from migraines? More than yes. So a lot of us, like Maddie used to have migraines all the time. Once her aneurysm ruptured, she doesn't have them anymore. So there's some sort of link there. So I just think it's really important to advocate for yourself. Also to know your family history. They told me that it's actually not, like, my brother is at risk, and then my grandchildren, not my actual children. They said it skips a generation. So if you have questions about that, please feel free, message me. But I hope everyone has a really good day. A lot of the things I use to combat the depression, the anxiety, the headaches, all of that stuff is I do use medical cannabis. I can't really talk about that on TikTok, so I talk more about that on Instagram and Facebook. I also have been using CBD more because I know a lot of you guys do not live in a state where that is legal. I meditate, I use yoga, and I also have to really account my focus is back because of these amazing packets of ketones. If you have not heard how the brain prefers ketones over glucose, your body naturally has ketones. So having exogenous ketones is finally fueling my brain in a different way. I used to poop out. I used to not be able to keep up. I would get exhausted, and you could see it in my face and my eyes. I was there, but the lights were not on. So I'm super grateful that I have ketones now. I also drink the upgraded electrolytes, Mitoplex. They do have magnesium in there, so it also helps with cramping, any headaches. MCT, pretty much always in my coffee. So MCT is another thing, it massages your brain. So I do like to go the not pharmaceutical route, basically. So I did get off anti-seizure meds, antidepressants, and because of those two, I was on a slew of other medications. So I have been off of all of those for a really long time. And thank you. I can't wait to see what I make too. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Boop. And if you guys are joining late, I'm so sorry. Go back